So why do children need what we call free play? First of all, let's just quickly define free play. Free play is when a child moves into their own play that's not directed by an adult, or it's not a structured activity. So they sense, maybe they're a little bored, or maybe there's nothing going on, whatever it is. And they sense something within them that tugs inside of them and pulls them into something. Like maybe they want to build something. Maybe they want to do Lego. Maybe they want to play with their truck or dolls, or maybe they want to draw something. Maybe they want to climb a tree. Maybe they want to build a fort. Maybe it's alone. Maybe it's with others, whatever it is. But something within the child alerts them to pull them into an activity. This is free play. Now, why do they need this? How does this work? One of the absolutely incredible things about free play is that it is where children digest and process their lives. Sometimes we hardly think about play, like it's just think, it's what kids are kind of doing maybe on extra time. But actually, play is completely essential when it comes to emotional health, when it comes to taking care of anxiety, when it comes to digesting aggression, releasing frustration, and growing children into their best selves. It's absolutely vital. I found this part of understanding play absolutely fascinating. Let's take a look for a moment at the study of children's books. Children's books fall into the category of play because they can enliven a child's imagination. Like a child might hear a story and all of a sudden it might come out in their dramatic play afterwards, or maybe when they're playing their little Playmobiles or with their truck or whatever it is, or maybe we don't even see it come out in their physical play, but they're imagining the stories in their mind and they're recreating the stories, or they're drawing them or whatever. So this storytelling, whether it's films, movies, books, or whatever, that enliven a child's imagination fall into this category. So the study of children's books tells us something about kids and play. So when we look at children's books all around the world, we can see that children are driven in absolute droves to read books which encompass a very specific theme. And almost every culture around the world, children are driven in droves to read books which have this theme. In all the culture, in so many cultures, it gets wild. And we think, okay, what is this? What is this, Hannah? Like, what's this theme? And here's the thing. It's being orphaned. And if you think like, what? Why would kids want to read books about being orphaned? Doesn't that sound like really sad? Well, let's just take a moment and just pause for a second. Green Gables, Harry Potter, Lion King, Bambi, Frozen, almost every Disney story, almost every fairy tale, The Secret Garden, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, in which the parents aren't available, Superman, almost every superhero story, Boxcar Children, Oliver, Annie, Pippi Longstockings. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. Why? Why would this be? What does this tell us about a child's psychology? And what does this tell us about how play is helping a child to digest and process their world? Okay, so let's start with this. A child's greatest need is attachment. Human babies are born completely vulnerable. Unlike some mammals, we cannot take care of ourselves physically. We can't walk on our own yet when we're born. We can't talk. We can't feed ourselves. We can't even take care of ourselves emotionally. Humans don't learn to emotionally regulate until a caring adult has emotionally regulated us, soothed us hundreds and hundreds of times when we've been crying and sad. So we need our adults. Children require attachment in order to survive both emotionally and physically. And so how it works is like this. Children are digesting this great alarm, the loss of their attachments, what we call one step removed through the character. So it's not too scary for them because it's not them. They see the character survive in the face of their greatest fear. And not only just survive, these characters thrive. They don't just survive. Like Harry Potter, they become magicians, or like Superman, they can fly. They can take care of the whole world. And there's something so deeply soothing to children about this, that so many children are drawn to these attachment stories over and over again in their childhood, until somewhere, perhaps in their mid-teens, which their psychology stops being so interested in it because they could survive on their own. This is how play works. It's absolutely fascinating. Children don't know this, and they're not meant to. This is the beauty of play. It's meant to be unconscious for children, so it doesn't make them feel self-conscious. They're not aware of it. It's very gently and quietly soothing their alarm, or practicing, helping them practice for their future, or rehearse for the things that they're going to have to, do one day, or soothe the fears that they have. And so free play is crucial because it's not, it's this place where you can't teach the child this in the same ways. Play soothes in a very deep way that's unconscious. And it's what nature intended. Nature gave children, two places to have this. One is their people who can soothe them and love them and hug them and help them feel safe. And the other thing was play, where they get to digest their fears and practice things and rehearse it and act it out and think about it and imagine stories in their head or whatever it is. So they have these two places. So maybe this gives you something a little bit differently to think about the next time you think about play, and carving out some time for our kids to dive into their inner world and to explore wherever that brings them.